Who of us does not know about the great Egyptian pyramids? The majestic Sphinx. The dynasty of the pharaohs. The priests of ancient Egypt. Their unique technologies that were used in construction and medicine. A huge cultural heritage in front of each of us. At least that's what the official story says. And I would like to believe all this, but it is worth visiting these tourist places, as a whole series of insoluble questions arise, intelligible answers to which you will never be answered by official science. Do you really believe that slaves dragged heavy blocks using primitive methods? Have you thought about their delivery to the zone of construction? Modern attempts to repeat this titanic work have culminated in a crushing fiasco. If you travel to these memorable places, you will find traces of modern stone processing. But about everything in order. Any researcher can go in two directions. Traces of a highly developed ancient civilization. A remake. I am convinced that this is a remake, which I will prove to you in this video. Let's go. Look at the photo of the famous castle of Ramses II. Now let's see what it consists of and how made it. Do you still believe that it was built thousands of years ago? Let's look at a photo of the old Sphinx. What do we see? But where are the paws? And here they are being completed by someone. Well, let us zoom the result.
Oh my God!
This is a modern brick. Do you still believe that it was built thousands of years ago? We continue. The Pyramid of Cheops. These dents cannot be erosion, they are too different from all types of erosion on all blocks. There are dozens of them. It looks like a ladder for dragging the solution printed. An extraneous thing has been confused. Another drop boot against the background of the verge of a formwork sheet. Typical sign, as any concrete worker will say. Visors, solution streaks hang everywhere. The solution was stronger than the brick. The drop boot and the edges left by the formwork. Unfinished mortar, debris, everything went into casting. Part of the beauty fell out, part still sticks out, but it will fall out necessarily, especially from the windward side of the Khufu pyramid, where the erosion of lime sand casting is faster. Scrap was used like that. Why not? The blocks are full of traces of primitive grouting by hand, such as these patterns, followed by stamping on raw, as in a quarry near the Chephren pyramid. Alternatists have traces of mysterious instruments. The same without stamping, with grooves from the formwork bars. Work with the solution is extremely garbage, just such leaves. Where there are no quality requirements, and you just need to close the masonry, the Tajiks do not meter, but kilometers of such finish are faster than the speed of the Nile. On pyramid casting, this is additional. It is necessary to close the boot, or a large snot hangs. The ancient Egyptian walked with a golden section grater, seams, sutures, ready, then they went on to erect an ancient Egyptian masterpiece. Second thing, such wipes. The quality of the lime sand mortar, as you have noticed, is shameful, and the workers also, like casting pyramids, are plastering the supposedly whole rock of a quarry near Chephren, and throughout ancient Egypt. Tajiks wouldn't be paid for this. Small things, which crawled out, were completely wrapped up in the pyramids, but this thing, forgotten by the ancient Egyptians in casting, is outstanding. Steel profile, beginning of the 19th century, iron is very corrosive, in its pure form is not used. The iron profile in the open air, even the Egyptian one, will turn into dust not in 4,500 years, but in 200 that have passed since the beginning of the 19th century. You think it's the British in the early 19th century. Widely used for melting hot blast, which led Bessemer in 1856 and Martin in 1864 to the technologies of the same name. But no. The ancient Egyptians, the Anunnaki technology and the secret knowledge of the priests of Atlantis. You can get these slots with any fitting blocks even in theory. The faces of the blocks perfectly repeat each other with curved lines. They can be obtained only by sequential filling of the row. Specifically, this flooded from left to right. The formwork was put in place. Thin plastic sheets of metal. The block is poured, sheets are hastily put, the next one is poured. Sheets are taken up. One block squeezed the sheet more, the other less, the third generally squeezed the formwork sheet and the stack. I do not care, they docked and poured a large block to a small block, not a single block is repeated there, all are different. Incredible rush and race. The top row is especially indicative. This is an impossible masonry. Only consistent casting. Here is a great example of impossible joints. And the piece of iron with which they tried to get the formwork sheet, but it got stuck. And wires, plates, foreign objects in the Egyptian cinder, the above-deck visors on the blocks. Shot down, cut still raw. But not everywhere. This failed disgrace cannot be faced, according to science, looking at the cap of the Chephren pyramid. The rest, they say, has not survived for centuries, the sultans have dragged to palaces, the imams to mosques. Nonsense. They built a hat like that. Having reached the beginning of the cap, the builders drew faces from 5 to 7 rows high, alternating the casting of horizontal blocks and vertical ones, and from the border of the cap to the top they began to pour the product under the outer formwork. Knowing the real quality of the pyramid casting, we strengthened the vertical wall under the cap with additional pillars. This is one of them, which could not have appeared in the same, stepwise casting. It is impossible to put these supports during the restoration work, without removing the usual blocks and thereby not casting the casts on the bad heads, they were placed during construction. The support enters the bosom of a square shape in the upper cast. That is, at first they poured it, and the upper casting of the so-called cladding, on it. Other horizontal blocks spilled out, the imprint of one of them remained at the neighboring casting. Not surprising, given the quality of the basic block casting. And this is the facing of Snowfru in Dashur. No tiles, ordinary blocks with an external face under the formwork. Oh. Somewhere still preserved and stuck in an under-frozen block decor. Without a doubt, light, plastic, oxidized metal in the trash. The aluminum is quite suitable for properties and color. And it hangs so that not a single pilgrim can get it. Between the casts, the wood shoved, the metal in the formwork only from the outside. Wretchedness and complete exclusive. When preparing to hoist a double heavier layer of the cladding so that the latter would not collapse into the settled sand of the central part of the pyramid, the last 24 rows before it were led not by standard filling of blocks, but after times by full-fledged brick pedestals masked with plaster. Therefore, the lining is intact, and the base under it is stronger. This concludes the first part. If the video gets at least 100 likes, we'll do the second part.